So today topic is HANA security, right? SAP HANA security part. So normally security is very important for the systems as well as so any device, the security is very important here. Same as like in the database level also we need a security to protecting the important data from the unauthorized access. Also, we can ensure that we are following the security standards and we are meeting the compliance as per the company following as adopted by the company. We are following the company standards or not. So we need a security, right? So it will protect the important data. And also, if any unauthorized persons trying to access the system, so why? Because all the data stores into the database level. If the unauthorized people try to theft the data, stole the data, then there will be a problem with the finance, right? So that is the reason to protecting the important data from the unauthorized access. So we need a security here, right? So in the HANA, same as like HANA also, they are the some other security features are security security the features are available here, security features, right? So the security features like a the user and role management concept here, user and the role, the management concept, and also we have the authorization concept, and also we have the authentication concept here. So authentication, right? So authentication concept here, and also we have the encryption of the data layer here, right? Encryption of data layer here, and also encryption of the network layer here, network layer. So in case of these are the security features are available in the HANA database. These are the security features are available in this data are in the HANA database here. So whenever you are trying to create the user, either you can create the user and related authorizations and authentication features we have to provide it here. Authentication means the user trying to access something in the database level, so whether it should be authorization and it should be authenticated here, right? So in the database level, if you see here in the HANA database level, there is a security folder here. Under the security, we have the users and roles are available here. Users as well as the roles are available here, right? The users here, you can see the users, related users are available here. So you can right click on the users, click on the new user creation. We can perform it here, right? So this is the user ID. We can provide the user ID. Suppose like Ravi user here. Then there are the multiple authentication features. How the user will be authenticated? It verifies through a authentication. Maybe there are the multiple authentication methods are available. See, password based authentication method, SAML means, so the third party, the identity provider integration, SAP logon ticket identity providers, Kerberos, then X.509 certificate based and assertion ticket here. So there the multiple authentication methods are available here. So normally, so database level, right? So users does not require access to the database level. Only the basis people require the access to the database level here. Either basis or developers are required access to the DB level here. So authentication. So either you can authenticate to the database using password or SAML2 mechanism or SAP logon ticket or Kerberos mechanism or X.509 certificate or X. So then SAP assertion ticket. The multiple ways you can authenticate, it here, right? So this is the authentication. The many authentication methods are available here, right? So then what is the authorization authentication method you have provided, right? Then authorization. These are the authorization here. Authorization means the authorization required when the user is trying to access the HANA database. Maybe is trying to access the table, is trying to access something, then authorization required. Authorization means so privileges, required privileges are required. So I am able to connect to your phone, but I should be authorized to speak with you, right? Then privileges are required. Authorization also called the privileges. The privileges are called here. That privilege, if we don't have the privileges, what will happen? So I created only user, then authentication with password is done. When I'm trying to access to, when I'm trying to connect with the so Ravi user, right? So Ravi user, then the password, then old password, just reset the password here. Then you can enter it. The password has been changed here. Then you authenticated by Ravi user. You can see Ravi user here. Ravi means you connected through Ravi user here. So whenever you try to open the administration console, you will not able to open because of you don't have the required privileges, right? But because you are not the required privileges, you don't have the insufficient privileges. You don't have the required privileges to access it here, right? You don't have the required privileges to access the users and everything. You don't have the access here. So you don't have the privileges, which means you are authenticated via password. You connected to the database. You connected to the database. That is fine. But you are not a authorized person to access the some data. Then what you required? So then you require the required privileges, required authorizations are required in the database level. Authorization is required when a user trying to using the trying to access to the database level here, right? So then when the user tries to access any HANA database object, any data, HANA system perform the authorization check on the user through roles or privileges directly via role or whatever the privileges he has, whether he has the required privileges, then only system will allow you to access that related data here, right? So then how many types of privileges we have in the HANA database? How many? The types of privileges here. The privileges. I mean to say authorizations here. Authorizations. Right? So here we have the system privileges. System, the privileges here. Okay. Then we have the object privileges, system privileges, and object privileges, as well as the and analytical privileges here. Analytic privileges here, right? System privileges, object, analytical privileges, then package on privileges here. Then we have the application privileges here, application privileges, then privileges on users here. Privileges on users here. Privileges on users here. These are the they are the 6 type of privileges are there in SAP here. You see here, so system privileges, object privileges, analytical privileges, package privileges, application privileges, privileges on the users here. So they are the 6 types are there here. So system privileges, what system? Suppose in the system, if you are trying to access like catalog, read, backup, audit, you are the audit admin, schema, password, system internal tabs, if you are trying to access, then you should require the monitor admin. So required, suppose you are trying to access the backup, then backup admin. If you are trying to access the catalog, then catalog admin. The related privileges are required here. The related privileges are required here. Then you assign the system privileges. Then when you are trying to access the now HANA Studio, then you are able to access now. You are able to access now. Sir, why previously we were unable to access through Ravi user? Now why I am able to access means, so with your user, you are able to access something here means you have the required privileges. You have the required privileges. You have to access the data. You have the required privileges. You have to access the data here. You have the backup, catalog, you have the some privileges you have to access the data, right? So that is the thing of the so the privileges means authorization means you are authorized to use the catalog, monitor, admin related functionalities in the system, right? You are the required person. Required privileges are there to access the data, right? That's why you are able to open now here. So like this, so if you want to use some tables, suppose if you are trying to access now, these are the system functionalities. These are the system functionalities and system administrators. Some of the functionalities you are able to access. Sir, I want to access the data, table, something like that I want to access now. Then how can I access the data functionalities here, right? So I want to access something in the system level here. See here, insufficient privileges, right? Again, you are unable to view the data. Only the monitoring tabs you are able to access it here. But thing is, why? Because you have only system privileges you have. Then just you can try to go to the object. Then in the object privileges, you can assign the respective table, respective tables. You can assign it here. Then you can able to access the data respective table. Table level object means table level. You can access it here. Then you can able to select the statement. Then you can able to delete something here. You can able to, which means you assign it as a object privileges also here. So object means respect to table you want to access the table you assigned it. Then you are only allowed to use that respective table or respective table here. If you assign the object privileges, object privilege means data, the data in the systems. So object privilege means data in the system. So you are try to access it here, right? That is the data privileges here. System privileges means system internal functionalities and everything. Object means data. Data means tables. System level you have the tables. The tables level access if you need, then that go to the object level, assign the required table, which table you require the access, assign that one. Then which table you require the access to, then that respective table you can assign to the this one. Then you can able to access the this privileges. This you can able to access the respective things in the system. See, you can able to access the respective things in the system. So analytical privileges means analytical analytical things. So here the developers will create the some content. They will go to the content and they will create the some analytical packages. They will create the some analytical privileges. They will create the some analytical packages, privileges. So they will create it. They will create it here. So if you need access to the developer who developed the package, if you need access, then you need to that package, that analytical privileges should be assigned to the your user. That analytical privileges should be assigned to the user. So this analytical privileges are used to access the data of the HANA information model, attribute view calculations, and also analytical view. This one we have to assign it here. Why? Because some persons they only need access to the analytical, then you need to assign the analytical. Some people they need access to the only object level, then you need to assign it. Some people means we are the administrators, they require access to the some system functionalities, then we require access to the this one. Then packages privilege means so to access the packages which are in the system. Suppose like you created some training package, so suppose you require the access to the training package here, then training package here, then you need to assign the training package. The training package you need to assign the training package to the your user here. Then this Ravi user can able to access the training package, then can able to access the training package in the systems here. That packages privileges here. Then application privileges here. Application privileges are so HANA access related. In HANA also the developers will develop the some of the access related applications here. If you need access to that applications, then you need the application privileges. You need the application privileges here. Then privileges on the user, the reference users debugging, attach debugger access, we can assign to the user here. That we can do that one here. So they are the privileges. If the users are required access to monitoring the system, then we can assign the system privileges. Object related privileges, we can assign it here. Object means data level, analytical packages, application, whatever you want, you can assign it here, right? No, I don't want to assign something. I want to create before only I want to create all the things means then you can go to the security. There the roles are there. Here users and roles are there. Here you can create a roles. They are the some custom roles, standard roles already available by SAP. These are the standard roles which already SAP available here. So you want to create the some custom roles, then you can also create the role like Z underscore basis, Z underscore security, Z underscore development, like that multiple teams you can create the role. Then you can assign the this privileges directly. Why? Because each and every user you need to assign the system privileges, object privileges, analytical privilege, you have to assign it. So this will be a time-taking procedure. Instead of that, you can create a role. Role means collection of all the authorizations and privileges are called the one role here. If you create the one role here, that role, whatever the role you add it here, whatever the role you are going to add it here, so that you created this privileges object, everything you created at a Z underscore basis, L1 support or something, you created a role here. So now you assign this role to your above pass here. So then directly go to the granted roles, click on the, so then whatever the role you created Z underscore basis, then assign this Z underscore basis to the your user, only this two user. Why? Because this role is combination of the all the privileges and everything. Then you can assign it here directly. Then Ravi can able to perform the required authorizations and everything here, right? So these are the some security related roles. So they are the by default some users are there, default some roles are there here. So if you want to create the user, right click on the users, click on the create the new user here. Then user can able to so access the data, but you need to that user should have the required privileges to access the data. The user have the some access privileges to access the data here. Roles means the role concept. Role means you can able to access something here. So means collection of privileges are called the one role here. So this role you can directly assign. Instead of for every user you need to go to the system user, object, analytical privileges. All these things you can maintain in the one role. That role you can assign to the user directly. Then user can able to access the data in the system, right? So this kind of called the, so this is called the users, right? Roles and users. So there are the types of users also there in the SAP HANA database here. So some are the technical users and real users here. Technical users. Technical users means system is the system user. System is the technical user. Why? Because system is the by default user. System, sys, sysrepo. These are the default users here. Technical users here. These are the non-human users here. So and second is the real users here who will log into the through password. Those are the real users here. Each user have to work on the database, need a real person to work on the database level here, right? Those are the real users here, right? So real users, so they can use the system, some restricted author privileges and role, they can access the data in the systems here. You can see they can access the data in the systems here. You can see the users and roles concept here. So right click and create the role. Normally as of now we are using the all are using the system user. System user means it's a super user. You can able to access the all the data. But you can create your own user, and if you try to access, then we can see the data here. We can see the all the data, maybe performance tab, and if you go to the sessions, you can see the sessions and threads. We can see the data here, right? Who are accessing what data, and Ravi user, system user. See, lot of sessions are displayed here. Lot of sessions are displayed here, which means we are, so this user also trying to access and system user also trying to access it here, the data. In this way, we can find out who is causing the issue and what causing the issue. Here we can find out the clear information. Clear information we can find out from here, right? This is called the performance tab, sessions and threads here, right? So same access to access the HANA database. As of now, you are using the system user. So not only system user, we can also create the new user. But for the new user, you should have the required privileges should be assigned here to access the all the tabs in the database level. That's called the privileges, and the required roles also it's required. Collection of all the privileges are called the, so collection of all the privileges are called the, so DBA cockpit, DBA and system privilege called the one role here. This role directly can assign to the users, or directly you can also create the custom role also, you can create it here. You can also use the standard, you can also use the custom, that is also possible here. Okay, that is the role. And also if you see here in the security tab here, in the security tab here there is a auditing, so password policy, auditing related functionalities also we can enable it here. Auditing related functionalities also we can enable it here. Auditing means yearly once, or so there is a frequently the audits will happen in the systems here. So the audit policy, suppose like successful. So suppose like someone deletes something here, then we can create the audit policy. So someone trying to delete the some certificates or backups that should be audited, then you can create the audit policy here. If someone try to delete a successful, then that should be tracked here. Then here we can see we can create the audit policy. So someone trying to create something, someone trying to delete something. So if you want that audits, that log should be generated. Suppose someone, some people, what they will do, someone trying to delete something here, then they know only they deleted. But this should be tracked means you need to create a audit policies. You have to create it here. Audit the policies you have to create it here. This audit policies will will audit the whatever you are trying to do, which user and which user, suppose like on which user you are trying to audit, Ravi user or something, then you can add that Ravi user. Then this Ravi user, whatever he is doing, trying to do it here, everything will be audited here. Everything will be audited in the systems. Okay, these are the audit policies in the systems here, right? So we can enable mode audit policies also, especially for the banking sector systems, finance systems. The people will always auditing will be enabled here. So if you try to do something, if you try to reset, delete something, immediately that will be tracked. Then they will record you done some changes and that caused the some issues. Then they will take a note of that one. Okay. Then password policy. So the password policy is here, right? In the database level, when you are resetting the password, so normally sometimes we may have the uppercase character, special character, something is required, something is required. They will tell you the something like that, right? So then here, so here in case of so you want to maintain the some minimum password length is 5 characters or 6 characters, you can maintain with the combination of the lowercase, uppercase, numeric letters, and also a lock for the unlock the deed, so system user, and also number of failed attempts 6. So then number of password lifetime and password minimum lifetime and last used passwords 5. So you should not use the, suppose like you can change it to the 3 as per your security standards here. Password lifetime of the initial password 7 days. Then user inactivity, maximum duration of the user inactivity, suppose like days. So suppose weeks, suppose like days. If the user is not active, so 10 days, then immediately the user will be locked. Password expiration, so password notification for the password expiration, then everything that will get every 7 days once. Then you can sell them, you can change it, this one, the properties, the password policies, these things you can change it here, whatever you want. You can do the changes as per your organizational standards. You can follow the same here. And also we can also put the passwords into the blacklisted password. Some people they will create a like so something country name. Some people they will mention in the password name, if that contains the country name or some of the random numbers, they will mention here in some of the random numbers like 123 something in the password, 123 something it is coming, then that should be blocked. That password you cannot set it out here, blacklisted passwords here. So these things, the policies, the password policies we can set in the HANA database level. In the banking sector systems, the minimum password is like 12 characters or 14 characters. Last 5 used password should not reset. So there is a default things, right? So that one we can know who will set. That means here if you change the password policies of the organization, then so it will affect to the all the users. It will affect to the all the users. And also some of the known passwords or blacklisted passwords, if you set in the passwords for users password, you cannot able to access those things here, right? You cannot set the blacklisted passwords here. You cannot set the that blacklisted passwords here because of the password is blacklisted, which means you cannot use that passwords, right? So volume encryptions, SAML2 providers, data volume encryptions. Suppose, so some people, if they hack your operating system, then one copy of data storing into the data folder level. So they can view the some data will also will saved into the disk folder level, right? Slash and data, right? Data will be saved into the data. So if there is a passwords sensitive information, that is also will be in the data folder level. Then people can hack your operating system. They can also view the this index server details and the passwords details. So if you want to encrypt those passwords, you can encrypt it here. If you want to encrypt, you can encrypt it here. If you want to decrypt, you can decrypt the passwords. That data volume, you can decrypt it here. That is possible. These are the password policies here, right? Using this one, we can able to access the things in the systems. Okay, data volume encryptions, which means, so if the data value, all the data resides into the data folder. This is the main memory. This is the data folder level. So data folder means here. So then one copy of data, as soon as data received to the main memory, then one copy of data will come to the data folder level. So the data is like a password. The data is like a some standard chip, some code, some logic, something is maintained. If someone hack your operating system, they can theft your data. So in that case, the sensitive information will be encryption format. They cannot view the encryption for sensitive information, even though if they hack your operating system. In that case, this concept will be encrypt the password sensitive information at database level. That will be helpful for them, right? So this is the security standards which require the HANA database level here. So most of the organizations, there is a separate security team for the SAP. They will take care of this security standards and everything here, right? Even it will not comes under the our scope, but every organization there is a security person. They will take care of the this related things and everything in the systems. Okay, so that is the, so this is the one thing here. See here, I changed the password. See, deactivation time 1. Immediately, whatever the users are unable to access, immediately all the users will be deactivated. All the users will be deactivated as per the password policy here. So be careful when you are changing the security settings. Every organizations, there is a security settings here that will clear the all the informations and everything in the systems. Okay, that is the main thing of the security settings and everything here. Okay. So you can use it, you can create your own users by using the system DB, then just log out from the system DB. You can use your own in place of system DB, then you can connect to the HANA database level. So that time you will come to know the real user experience and everything here. System user has the lot of access, then you can able to access everything. But when you are using the other than system user, then you will come to know the what the privileges I have and what I am trying to access and everything. You will come to know here. Okay. That is the system privileges here. Okay. So just to practice it, and tomorrow, Monday, we'll discuss about the uh, backups, restore, recovery, and HANA replication configurations, HANA upgrade. So these things are pending. We'll discuss in the next week. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.